Sullivan. I'm a former IRS agent and teaching instructor with Internal Revenue Service. Welcome to my YouTube station. It's the home of the 5-minute or less video. I had worked at IRS for a decade. I've been in private practice for 4 decades. I've been doing this for 50 years. I am a national expert in IRS resolution matters. If you want to see me in a coat and tie, you can go to my website at 777irs.com. Many of you have come to me because you've seen all my national interviews on TV. You can see them there, and more importantly, see my team of former IRS agents that are on my amazing team. Anyway, today I want to talk to you about negotiating IRS tax debt and how you do that and what the process is. So there's two types of people who listen to these videos. One is the person who wants to evaluate whether to use the person they're watching or they're looking to get information. One of the two. So anyway, I don't talk about myself. I am a national expert in this. I try to give you information. If you're trying to negotiate your IRS debt with Internal Revenue Service, you must understand what the process is. And yes, I'm an expert in that negotiation process because for the IRS, I used to accept offers and compromise and deny offers and compromise. And I used to negotiate offers and compromise. So you're speaking to a former IRS agent who used to do that. So the information I'm giving you is critical, whether you're evaluating me or you're going to try to do this on your own. If you have a small debt, I recommend you do this because you're not going to be able to pay the fees. Sometimes companies charge exorbitant fees, which are really all through the roof. Those are the ones that you see all the ads on. If people are advertising a lot and you see them and you click on one of those ads that you see, they're charging a lot because you're paying for their advertising. Yep. You're paying for that advertising if you hire them. So you're really crazy to hire those companies that you see. They make all these promises that they really can't deliver, and you're speaking to salesmen. I know you are because I get the calls from people who've been ripped off really by these companies. By the way, if you're not speaking to an attorney, a CPA, or an enrolled agent, you're probably going to get ripped off because you're speaking to a salesperson who's going to charge you triple what a firm actually should charge to work your case. But the key, sorry, I'm dealing with getting over the flu. Anyway, the key to negotiation is understanding the IRS compromise formula to settle tax debts. Let me just tell you what it is. The offer and compromise is the tool that IRS uses to negotiate their tax debt. If you're not familiar with that, or you're just getting dibs and dabs off the internet, especially if you owe a lot of money, you're wasting your time. You're going to pay more money if, in fact, your offer is going to be accepted by the IRS. There's two things you have to understand, and only two things. IRS is only looking at two things on these financial statements: what your assets are and what that value is. And IRS is looking at your income, and they want to know what your expenses are. So if you have the money to pay the tax, but you don't want to pay all the tax, but you have the money, don't file an offer and compromise. You can't negotiate. Your offer is going to go down. You're not going to get your offer accepted. I denied many, many offers and compromise because people try to settle the debt when they have the tax. IRS is not going to accept your offer. I don't care what anyone tells you. Those offers came to me and I denied every single 100% of them. They can't accept your offer. Now, the other thing that they look at that you must understand is the National Standards Program. IRS, when they give you a financial statement, they say, okay, let us know what your expenses are. What most people do not know is IRS is generally not going to allow your expenses. They are going to replace them with the expenses, in fact, that they are going to go ahead and allow. Where do you find those at? You find those at Google IRS National Standards for Food and Clothing, IRS National Standards for Housing and Utilities. You'll populate a state. and then your county, and then the number of people, IRS national standards for car expenses, and IRS national standards for car ownership. IRS will dictate to you what you can spend. After you understand the national standards program and know it very well and know when the best time to file and the opportune time to file is, you go ahead and file your offer and compromise. If you don't, you really do need to hire someone, no matter who, to go ahead and do this. But if you're a do-it-yourselfer, you must go ahead and know the national standards program. Anyway, if you do want to hire someone, you'd be crazy not to hire former IRS agents, because we know every negotiation standard and tactic there is, because we were taught them and we're going to use them on you. Thank you much. I appreciate. Give me a subscription if you would. YouTube values those, so I have to value them. Thank you.